Jeff? Tammy? Hello? Oh, that's right. They're off on their well-deserved vacation, which means I'll be your guest host for this amazing edition of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization. It's me, Brittini, your favorite designer. Or at least top 10, I hope. And on this episode, we're gonna take the highway into Williamsburg to see what Carol did to help a couple's gorgeous golf course property get a little more organized with a new home office and a mudroom space. Then we'll visit a Hampton Roads synagogue to see a very special install that Barbara designed to help showcase a very important piece of history. I'll be your tour guide the whole way through on this episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
Hi, my name is Abrina Davis. I'm originally from Hampton, Virginia. I grew up there, and then my parents moved us down to South Carolina right before I graduated high school. For the last 13 years, my husband and I have been out in Lawton, Oklahoma. So we're real excited to be back here on the East Coast. We're closer to family.
And I'm Waylon Davis. We moved here to be closer to our children and grandchildren. And fortunately, I was able to get a job here in Virginia on Fort Eustis. I work for the Army. We had decided that we wanted to live in a house that was on a golf course. I am not a golfer. We love just the environment, and it's just nice living in the area. It is a new build, and when we moved into the home, we noticed that it didn't have any cabinets in the bathroom. In our last home that we were in, it did have cabinets in the bathroom. So we just kind of felt that, hey, let's figure out how we can get some cabinets in the bathroom. And we were also, my wife works at home, and so we also needed furniture. And so one night, I was looking at TV. It was pretty late, about 11 o'clock, and the TV show came on regarding Closet Factory. So I spoke to my wife about it, and looking at the program, I saw how this one couple had turned their garage into a very nice place for storing tools, and they had cabinets, and so we called and asked to be scheduled for a rep to come out. And so Carol did come out, and she brought her things with her to present to us about the different options. We really didn't have an idea or anything like that.
Yeah,
and so that's when Carol came in, and she was tremendous at just broadening our idea and the design of the pieces that we chose.
Hello, it's Carol Carruth again, Senior Designer at Closet Factory. I'm here at the Davises in Williamsburg. We've actually done 7 different systems for the Davises.
We needed a mud bench right near the garage door, so I was having to sit on the steps in the mornings to put my shoes on to go to work. And so we decided we needed a mud bench.
They had a great entryway off the garage, but no place to sit, no storage. They did move to the area because they do have grown children and grandchildren, and realized that they needed a spot for them to stow things. Bench situation is a great place to set things down when you arrive home. So it just kept going, and we created lots of storage for them, a place to not only sit, but hang up jackets on hooks, but also drawers for their keys, sunglasses. Again, just a place for everything in its place as far as coming and going from the house. So that mudroom system worked out really well for them in many different ways.
When Doug brought the equipment in and all the supplies, he actually brought them in piece by piece, and it was just one person. And I was surprised to see that it was just one person, considering the amount of work that was going to be needed.
Yeah, so the first install he did alone completely. So all 3 bathroom cabinets, mudroom, and that table for the laundry room. And because I wanted a table in the laundry room that could just lay against the wall and I could pop it up whenever. But I was also expecting that 2 legs would be sticking out underneath. But Carol was able to show us a hinge where it just folds down to the wall completely flat. So that was the first install. So we had 2 separate installs. And then the next month we had the office done, and that's when he had assistants. But otherwise he did it all by himself.
Another one of the main concerns they had is they have this great office just off the foyer of this beautiful home, but nothing in it. Abrina had a tiny little makeshift desk situation, but she does work from home. And as far as feng shui principles go, she did express she didn't want to face the wall. And I said, well, let's make you a T-shaped office so that she can face the windows. She likes to have the opportunity to either stand up or sit down. So of course I had to measure their printers, measure this pop-up desk situation, not go overkill and take up all the office space, because Wayland also needed to be able to sit. Another key thing for offices, of course, it's always been the case, but more so these days, is wire management. I suggested that they purchase some of our pop-up wire management. So it's not only got 2 plugins, but a couple USB ports. And so they love that.
With that T desk, large part in the center, my sit-to-stand desk fits on top really well. And we both have drawers and cabinets, and the little file cabinet drawers. And so it's already very convenient. I have room to push my chair back and stand up comfortably. And I wasn't seeing all of the space in the room to be able to do all of that. So it's pretty perfect.
We were also able to get a printer cabinet built.
Oh yeah.
And so that offered us some space for storing papers and office supplies, and to be able to build that wall unit and just having everything built in like it was already there. I think that's what really just I saw as being very beautiful and professional in deciding to have, chose Closet Factory to do the work for us.
Lastly, Abrina mentioned that she's got a standalone tub that she absolutely loved in its kind of own nook in the master bathroom. So I made Abrina her a little master bath spa suite, which I think she loves quite a bit. It's a surface that she can sit on, swing in and out of the tub. It also affords a surface. I made storage underneath, and then I made a really cute matching little cabinet with just a little 18-inch footprint of wall, because everything we make is custom. So I can just take tiny little nooks and crannies and make storage out of it. And we did one more cabinet in there in the water closet area as well. So 7 systems all total. And I think they're pretty taken care of. They say they may want more, so we'll see. Maybe I'll be back and make a master walk-in closet for them.
I would highly recommend using the Closet Factory. It was easy and simple from start to finish.
And one of our neighbors already came over to see it and they loved it, and they were looking for some type of desk for one of their rooms, and they love our office, and so you might be getting a call. But we love it, we're happy, and we would definitely call you guys back to help us with other projects. Actually, we did think about our closets in the master bedroom. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Closet Factory.
What a great looking home the Davises have out there in Williamsburg. And that home office is perfect for them. Although I'm not sure I could get any work done with that golf course right outside my window. Now, let's take a very special journey to a synagogue in Hampton Roads who were looking for a way to showcase an important piece of history that was saved from World War II, and how Barbara took on that wonderful opportunity.
Hi, my name is Aileen. I'm the first vice president of a local Hampton Roads congregation. Many years ago, we were awarded the opportunity to house a Holocaust Torah, which has been in our possession since 1981. And we finally have been able to find the funding to be able to build a display case for our sacred scroll.
One of the basic tenets of our religion is passing things down from generation to generation. And the Torah scroll that we got was from outside Prague, where my mother-in-law's father originally was from. We were involved in a ceremony where my wonderful father-in-law passed the Torah scroll by hand to my husband and then to my then 9-year-old son, Jason.
So the Torah came when we were still a mobile synagogue, having services in various places. It preceded our first building. It came with us to this building in 1990, and it's been in our ark with our other Sifrei Torah. And we just acquired this case to put it on more of a special display so people can see it and appreciate it and its history.
The Torah is our holiest of books. We call it the Tree of Life. It holds the first 5 books of the Bible. We read from it every Shabbat, every Sabbath, and every holiday. It's our sacred scroll that teaches us all we need to know as Jews.
In the early 30s, the Nazis gathered up as many Torah scrolls as they could, and it was meant to be a museum of a then non-existent religion. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but they accumulated hundreds of Torah scrolls. And then at some point during the war, they were rescued from the Czechoslovakian synagogue by the Westminster Synagogue in London.
And when we found out that we were eligible to get such a Torah, my father and I decided to split the cost of shipping it and getting it from England to here, and it's been one of our jewels ever since.
We applied, we wrote a letter, and we said we'd like to take care of this, we'd like to house it, and we were granted the opportunity. Originally wanted one that we'd be able to use because we were a brand new congregation and we didn't have what we needed, but they said they didn't have any what are called kosher ones, usable ones. So they said, but you can take care of this one for us. That was 1981. So since 1981, we've been taking care of it, moving it from place to place. as our synagogue grew, and eventually putting it in our regular ark until we decided it needed to have a more appropriate place, a special place. We take care of it because it's an artifact, and it helps us remember that we don't ever want this to happen again.
Hi, I'm Barb McCandless. Nice to be with you again, and happy to be discussing this latest project of mine. You know, in the last 20 years, I've had many interesting projects, but I will say this one is by far the most special. When Aline approached me about creating a display case for this Holocaust Torah, I was quite intrigued and really honored to be asked. And when I met with her committee at the synagogue and saw the actual scroll, I was just, very excited. At the same time, I was a little reticent because although I'm somewhat familiar with conservation methods, I'm by no means an expert. So I was a little reticent. But fortunately, Aline had a contact at the Chrysler Museum and approached him about his suggestions and so on. And from the information we received from him, I was confident that Closet Factory could produce a display case that would be appropriate for many, many years.
So we had been looking for designers to make this case and had interviewed a variety of people and actually had found somebody who we thought was going to do it for us, and he seemed to have disappeared. So I had just had my beautiful, gorgeous closet done, designed by Barb, and thought, if they can do this kind of job on a closet that is really awful, let's see if they can help us out with this very important display case. So I called Barb and I said, would you like to meet me at the synagogue, and can we talk about the possibility of designing a case for our sacred scroll? And so she met and she designed and we tweaked and she designed a little more, and it was a wonderful collaborative process, and we have a beautiful, beautiful case for our sacred scroll, for our Holocaust Torah.
When the scroll first came and my father-in-law and we decided to share the cost, we made a sizable donation that was meant to be for display case. But because we were such a young synagogue, the money was needed elsewhere. So we've been waiting more than 40 years for this display case. We see the Torah every Sabbath when the Ark is opened. And it's been wonderful to see it, knowing that we were part of saving one of them, even though it's only on permanent loan to us. Now that it's in a display case, it's a great sense of pride and nostalgia, knowing that it came from a synagogue that might have been my mother-in-law's father's synagogue, and he possibly could have been bar mitzvahed using that Torah scroll.
We wanted the display to be at a location that anybody or everybody who walks by it can see it and admire it. And so that's why it's where it is now.
Hitler planned to put all of the artifacts that he collected from the destroyed synagogues in Europe into one big museum of an extinct people. And because we're here today and the Torah is in a display case to show that he didn't get his way, we're still here, we're not an extinct people. We had this Torah in our ark with our other Torah scrolls for many years, and it was just felt that it would be more respectful and more appropriate to have the Torah in a display case where people could see it, could read about its history, and see it every time they came in and came out of our synagogue.
When it came to the install, our wonderful designer, Barb McCandless, came to supervise it because she was very invested in the project. And an incredible installer, Matt, came to install the case, and he made sure everything was perfect, everything was leveled, everything was just wonderfully done. We had great conversations with him, and it just came out beautiful.
Aline was a great collaborator in this project, and she had an idea about searching out a source for special handles that would reflect the fact that this Torah is the tree of life. And she found some beautiful tree-like handles that are just perfect for the case.
I was blown away by how perfect it was, that it displays the scroll, showing some of the writing, showing the damage to it. And it's knowing that it's well over 100 years old, actually probably could be close to 200 years old. It's been a very special part of our synagogue.
It's the perfect size and the perfect design to accent the size Torah and to let it be open to where we would like it to be for display purposes.
The cabinet was completed at the beginning of August, and we are getting ready to gear up for our high holidays, at which point we will point out to the congregation that it exists and work on future plans to acknowledge survivors and liberators and people who passed during the Holocaust. And our synagogue will have opportunities to remember those people by putting plaques up around the case. So the case will now become a center point for memorializing those who either survived or lost their lives during the Holocaust.
I can't begin to know what displaying this sacred scroll means to Aileen and her fellow congregants, some of whom lost loved ones in the Holocaust. But I know for myself, I'm forever honored to have been part of this project in preserving this memorial and tribute to those who were lost, and to have a reminder for future generations: never forget, never again.
That'll do it for another episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization. We hope you enjoyed seeing what we can do not only for your house, but even your house of worship. Thanks for watching, and I'd like to thank Jeff and Tammy for letting me fill their shoes for this episode. And man, are Jeff's shoes huge! What? Oh, I wasn't supposed to literally wear his shoes? I wasn't supposed to literally wear his shoes. Oh well, I'll do better next time. See you then!